My father lifts the mangled school bus, watching me closely. Be careful. Keep yourself under control. I hold back from objecting. The last few attempts have been quite controlled, and I've barely damaged the bus. This time I clench my fist tighter and swing as hard as I can, feeling a slight jolt in my elbow. Boom! The bus rips out of my father's hands and flies away with the inertia of an artillery shell. All around us, the junkyard rattles loudly from the impact. The car windows crack and shatter and the glass rings out, crumbling to the ground. A few shards hit my skin, leaving tiny puncture wounds. Nearby, a pile of burned, rusted cars sway and fall, adding a shrill metallic screech to the noise. My father's face remains impassive, but his silent gaze, hard as stone, says more than words. By this time, the bus is somewhere in the stratosphere, a tiny speck glistening in the afternoon sun. A gust of cool air blows over me, and my father walks away. After a few moments, he hovers above me again, holding the bus high so I can see him. Already shabby after my previous attempts, it is now an unrecognizable broken yellow shell. It could have been a man, he mutters, tossing the wreckage back into the dumpster. You're not ready. I frown. But it could have been one of the bad guys. Bad guys. Yeah, like the Moon Man. Or murderers. Or rapists. Or pedophiles. It could have been one of them, Dad. He runs a finger along his chin, if touching an old scar, though his skin is flawless. The wrinkles in his forehead deepen. What if it wasn't him? That night, as I hovered over Lily's house, the bus still wasn't out of my head. I'm pretty sure I could have hit it a lot harder. I look up at the moon. Tonight it's glistening with a thin sickle, and I imagine Moon Man gliding toward me, rainbow eyes sparkling. I bet it would be even easier than the bus. I hear scraps of conversation downstairs. Then a switch flicks, and the light from Lily's bedroom window goes out. A moment later, the window is ajar, and she climbs out. The only thing visible in the darkness is her shiny blonde hair. She hesitantly floats toward me. You seem to be waiting longer each time you wait for me, she says, slightly out of breath, tucking a loose strand behind her ear. Her freckled cheeks are slightly pink. I smirk. The air is nicer here. Wow, new suit. She turns slightly. So, what do you think? Well, Catwoman called. She wants her latex back. I reply with a smile, looking her over from head to toe. I like it. But what are those stains? Are you a wasp? She slaps my arm irritably, though I barely feel it. I may be, dumbass. L4 Lily. Her body begins to shimmer faintly, the vibration so high my ears can't pick them up, but I can feel them at the base of my skull. It's frighteningly pleasant. Hey, I wheezed. I told you not to do that. I'm sorry, she replies, but a satisfied half-smile appears on her face, which is quickly replaced by a frown. I still can't control it. You'll get the hang of it. Who even knows how to control their powers? Your daddy knows. Yeah, and he won't stop harping on about it. Control that. Be careful with that. Suddenly an idea pops into my head. Hey, wanna see something cool? She tilts her head slightly to the side. What? I point into the distance. You've been practicing, right? Fly there at full speed for 10 seconds. She rolls her eyes and tears forward, leaving a thud behind her. I give her a small head start and then rush off in pursuit at top speed, or at least the fastest I've ever flown. The expression on her face is priceless when she realizes I'm already waiting for her. How? You? She falls silent, trying to catch her breath. Raising her eyebrows, she nods impressively. I just flew 2 miles. And you? There's flying. And then there's me trying to do the best I can, I say, raising my hands in feigned humility. It's a little scary. I didn't even notice you fly by. You're even faster than your father. Well, I've never competed with him, but yeah, probably. Crossing my arms over my chest, I make my most heroic face. So what do you say we go a little higher today? I guess that's the only thing left for us to do. She flies closer, so close that I notice a tiny mole above her lip that I haven't seen before. And, of course, I catch the scent of honey, lavender honey. Now my body begins to vibrate in rhythm, blood pounding in my ears, throat, and chest. I can feel her warm breath on my face. The smirk is back on her face, as if she's achieved the desired effect. She starts to pull back, but I grab her waist and pull her closer. My skin starts to hum with the touch, our bodies melding together like the main characters in a musical. But instead of a romantic melody, there's a deafening crack. She cries out in pain and recoils, holding her back. "Mark, you've done it again. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." I excuse myself, the image of the bus flashing through my mind. She doesn't answer, just closes her eyes, as if concentrating, and her face contorts in pain. I flinch when I hear a quiet crunch. Her back falls back into place, each vertebrae falling into place with the precision of a spinal surgeon. Then she straightens up and slowly turns her body, checking to see if everything is okay. "You're lucky I know how to heal," she mutters, though the shadow of a smile remains on her lips. "I think you hit one of my nerves or something. My leg is numb. Are you okay?" She snorts. "I'm fine. But I wish I could say the same about the moment you just ruined. Do you still want to fly? If you want, we can. Come on, dummy." It rips upward, deepening into the vast sky, and my answer is lost in a hot gust of wind. We fly, deviating considerably from our usual route, feeling the thin air gently touch our faces, much softer than the wind on the ground. The moon, jealously watching us, illuminates the sky, but without the same fury. And even higher up, the stars wink at us like conspirators. I hear Lily quietly humming a few bars of "Fly Me to the Moon One Day, I'll Take You There, and We'll Defeat Moonman Together," I say, but she only laughs and shakes her head. We sink lower, touching pine needles, bird nests and sleeping squirrels who thought they were out of reach, and then rise up, letting the air currents carry us through thick clouds, into a realm of silvery cotton candy, illuminated from below by city lights shining through the fog-like searchlights. We float, mesmerized by this majesty. "Well, looks like you don't need any more flying lessons," I exhale. "Maybe I haven't needed them in a while," she mumbles, and suddenly our breaths merge into one. The kiss is cold, then hot, and then cold again as we fall through the cloud. The vibrations return, but now they're against my skin, and the butterflies in my stomach turn into smoldering fireflies. I almost lose control, but this time she slips smoothly out of my embrace, taking the warmth with her. "That's enough broken bones for today, mister," she declares. Descending to our spot above the school, we lick moisture from our lips. Snatched raindrops adorn our costumes. She looks gorgeous, floating with disheveled hair with moonlight reflecting in it. She sighs, raising her face to the sky. "I could do this every day, forever." "Yeah, I agree. Flying is the best. I don't need a cape to know the universe is on my side." She rolls her eyes. "That's definitely not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" "I meant us," she says in a husky voice. "It's not flying if it's not with you." "I'll show you something better," I whisper back. "Lily, Mark," she interrupts, pointing over my shoulder. "What's that?" Turning, I see something that looks like a glowing ribbon or a kite snatched from the hands of a careless child, or a sky banner left behind by an airplane. But the wind doesn't drive it. It moves with incredible speed, like a flexible stream with an unearthly purpose. "Moon Man." Lily instantly realizes that we've both come to the same conclusion, and our gazes meet in panic. "What should we do? Should we call your father?" She whispers in desperation. "He's heading toward the city." "Wait," I say, remembering the bus. "We'll be fine on our own." She tries to laugh at first, but is immediately silenced when she notices that my expression doesn't change. "Really? Have you lost your mind? Come on, you're with me. It's going to be okay. I want to show you what I can do. But it's dangerous. We know almost nothing about the Moon Man. Didn't he kill people?" I wave it off. "You didn't just buy that suit to fly, did you? My dad's faced him before, and I'm pretty sure I'm stronger. We can handle it." She looks down, her eyelashes fluttering, and a cloud of vapor escapes from her mouth. Then she nods. "You'll be fine," I repeat. "Just follow me." I slow my flight to match Lily's speed, but it's still fast enough to intercept Moonman long before he reaches the city. We approach him from behind, trying to be as quiet as possible. Up close, its scaly skin shimmers with all the colors of the spectrum, and its writhing body effortlessly cuts through the air, causing rhythmic gusts of wind. I notice with alarm how its tail tapers into an ominous spike. Dad never talked much about Moonman, but he once mentioned that he had 8 limbs, and now I see that they're all tucked under his body, giving him a streamlined shape. I don't think he's noticed us, Lily whispers, but I gesture for her to shut up. We get closer and closer, until I start to recognize a strange sound, an exhale followed by a breath, another exhale and a breath, and sometimes a quiet sniffle. Suddenly I realize it's not Lily breathing. We're so close that I can see our reflection in his scales, but the light is reflected oddly, as if following some pattern, as if all the scales are pointing in the same direction. I realize with horror that those aren't scales at all, they're eyes. Before we can react, Moonman lets out a long, deep groan and turns around to face us, revealing his incredible length. A wave of acrid odor washes over us, burning our throats and settling in our stomachs like hot vomit. He looks down at us, still panting and sighing, and we both suddenly realize the reason why. He has a human face. His mouth opens grotesquely, his lips curving as if he is struggling to utter a word. Then he spews a single word, accompanied by a torrent of scalding, rotting breath. See also. I pull back, speechless, my heart pounding frantically in my chest. Lily's shrill scream breaks the silence. Moonman shifts his attention to her, his breathing quickening. His tail snakes toward her, but she's already tearing away, leaving a deafening thud behind her. Paralyzed with fear, I watch helplessly as the creature ignores me and stalks after her, emitting guttural sighs. Lily screams again, her eyes wide with terror. She tries to dodge, but the Moonman moves too fast, catching up with her in seconds. "Mark, help me," she screams, gasping at the noxious odor. "Do something." His tail slammed into her throat with deadly force. Lily grasps it with both hands, straining, grunting and sobbing at the same time. The Moonman towers over her, spreading all 8 of his limbs, each ending in a human hand. His fingers curve out ominously. Suddenly, I feel something at the base of her skull. Her powers. The vibration is so powerful that my teeth begin to chatter and my hair stands up. Moonman flinches in surprise, then lets out another muffled sigh. His tail continues to squeeze her throat, and in an instant, like a snake, it coils around her completely. "Mark," she screams, but her voice is cut short as all the air is knocked out of her lungs. There's a horrible cracking sound, and an image flashes through my mind. A school bus, hurtling faster than sound, glittering in the sky like it belonged there, even if only for a moment. Clenching my fist, I lunge forward faster than ever before, and aiming for Moonman's head, I swing with more force than I thought I possessed. The impact pierces first something hard, then wet and soft, then something hard again. Hot liquid whips outward, coating my eyes, nose, and lips. It tastes metallic. Blinded, I back away, waving my arms wildly, feeling my skin tingle. A low gurgling sound is heard. Something drips. Then there's a terrible silence. I feel something warm and heavy slide over my shoulder, and then I hear a sigh.